Deep in Italy's motorsporting heartland lies the historic circuit of Imola. The Autodromo Internazionale Enzo Adino Ferrari tells you exactly where we are, midway between Maranello and Sant'Agata Bolognese, home to the greatest motor racing names in Italian history. And the Tifosi have come out in their tens of thousands to worship at this cathedral of speed. Round 2 of the FIA World Endurance Championship, the first race in Europe, marks the first visit to Imola for these hypercars and LMGT3s. For many of the drivers, it's a brand new circuit. For some, they've raced here all their lives. Whatever else we know, this track is going to be a tough one to produce the goods on. The teams, the drivers, and the crowd cannot wait to get started. Imola has seen its share of tragedy, never more so than 30 years ago, the fateful San Marino Grand Prix of 1994, where Roland Ratzenberger and the great Ayrton Senna lost their lives.
Grazie a tutti per essere venuti.
Grand Marshal Emanuele Pirro, the five-time Le Mans winner, greeting the crowd, getting them ready for the combat to come. In the LMGT3 class for the second consecutive race, Manthey Pure Racing were the fastest in qualifying. They start from pole position ahead of 17 equally eager rivals desperate to win here in Italy. There is plenty of Rosso Corsa in the crowd, lots and lots of Ferrari fans, and they were rewarded in qualifying at the top of the hypercar class, not one, not two, but all three Ferraris outpacing their rivals. Could this be the chance for Ferrari to claim their first World Endurance win in Italy?
Fratelli d'Italia, l'Italia se desta, dell'elmo di Scipio s'è cinta la testa, dov'è la vittoria, le porga la chioma, che schiava di Roma e Dio la creò. Stringiamoci a corte, siamo pronti alla morte, l'Italia chiamò. Stringiamoci a corte, siamo pronti alla morte, siamo pronti alla morte! L'Italia chiamò, sì!
3 minutes to start the first of 2 formation laps. Green flag, front of the grid, green flag, front of the grid. We have started the first of 2 formation laps for the 6 Hours of Imola.
We are ready to go racing in Imola. The field led by the red Ferrari of Niklas Nielsen, and as they are released, his teammate coming down the inside, Antonio Giovinazzi, going inside the yellow car of Robert Kubica, down into Tamburello. Porsche's 4th and 5th, big skid there. Oh, and trouble behind. Half a dozen hypercars. BMW, both Peugeots it looks like. Was it both Alpines as well? Racing down to the first corner, the Isotta at the back of Jean-Carl Vernet locks up. Looks like he may have triggered a multi-car pileup. Bodywork and cars flying everywhere. One of the Peugeots off on the inside, so is the second. Both Alpines. The number 15 BMW involved, and the Isotta has picked up damage. And look at the GT field. The white Porsche from Paulo comes through ahead of the 46 BMW. One of the Alpines has hit the barriers on the outside as well. Nico Muller's Peugeot, and looks like the Alpine triggers it all there, and the Azotta on our right gets caught up with Vaxivier now. He hits the Peugeot and the BMW. Into the pit lane, Manthey EMA's Porsche with front end damage. There's the 36 Alpine, there's the 94 Peugeot with rear damage, changing the rear clip on that car. And there's Marco Wittmann's BMW with a puncture as well.
Let's see, I mean, once the puncture, the steering is again straight, so maybe we can fix the rear end and the tire, and maybe we're good to go. Obviously, check the car. I got quite some damages front and rear.
Back to green flag racing after a brief safety car period. Ferrari 1, 2, 3. The privateer AF Corsa Ferrari in third. Then the two Porsches and both of the Toyotas in the top 8. There's the Lamborghini Hypercar going around the outside of the Proton competition Porsche up to 11th place. In the LMGT3 field, looks like damage on the back of the black Mustang as the McLaren sizes him up down the inside. And that is James Cottingham picking up a spot. There's our race lead battle. Alex Malikian ahead of Ahmad Al-Hati and Darren Leung. Porsche versus the two BMWs, and the Iron Dame's in trouble. The Lamborghini going very slowly, and Sarah Bovey not going into the pit lane. Now look in replay, this is down in the Ravazza going very slowly indeed. Has she got electronics issues? Yellow Corvette of Tom van Rompuy ahead of Giorgio Roda's damaged Mustang now. You can see the Corvette going down the inside. And that damaged rear end of the Mustang can't be helping handling. 777D Station Racing, Aston Martin under pressure. Front-engined Aston, front-engined V8 Lexus going through, and the front-engined V8 Mustang right behind. Lots of variety of engines and positions in this class.
Do your line, don't copy the Ford.
They need to fall in this car. This control is so dangerous. Fall in the Ford.
Copy, we already reported,
Okay, Mike, if you can't pass, think about saving energy. We can go 34 laps.
On board with Porsche's Lawrence Vantor, 3 Ferraris in front. In the rear-view mirror, look, there's Mike Conway. We're now with Robert Kubica. The leaders approaching traffic. The first of the LMGT3 cars is the 87 Akodis ASP car. Esteban Masson getting gobbled up to Variante Alta. All of the hypercars using Michelin's medium tyre, not hot enough for the hard. Trouble for Nico Muller in the 93 Peugeot going very slowly towards the end of the lap.
I lost the gearbox, clutch still, I lost the gearbox. Yeah, moving again, moving.
Okay, Nico, keep going.
The vastly revised Peugeot, the rear wing, evidence of all the work that's been going on. But some of the electronics clearly not playing the game. Nico Müller back up to speed though, Peugeot hoping for a good result. Leaders in traffic, there's the 51 Ferrari of Antonio Giovinazzi trying to go by Ryan Hardwick. Behind you can see the yellow car of Robert Kubica. He's trying to clear this LMGT3 battle as well without losing any ground. Out of Tosa, using the power of the hypercar, up the hill to the Piratella. Both Toyotas trying to fight their way up the order. This is Sebastian Webby now. He's behind the number 20 BMW of René Rast. BMW were very disappointed after free practice, but it seems the car has come alive in the race.
Okay, Seb, currently both cars can go to 36 laps, so we would target 35. More energy would be available. Alpha 9.4 is available.
That's what all of these drivers want to hear. You've got more juice, go and get him. Don't save fuel. Battle in LMGT3 for 5th place. The blue Heart of Racing Aston Martin of Ian James started second in class. Esteban Masson behind him in that Lexus started 18th in class. So he's had a great opening stint. Very encouraging for the team as well. The car was just getting knocked about in Qatar. Looks like a proper racer here in Imola. On board with Mike Conway in the lead Toyota. He's in 5th position, right behind Lawrence Van Tor, still trying to find a way by. Now, Conway has also been told that he might be able to use a bit more power, having done some fuel saving early on. Trouble for James Cottingham in the McLaren. He was in 6th position. He's now been passed by the Iron Dames Lamborghini. And he's got a puncture on the right rear, and that's probably from debris from that first corner carnage. Giuseppe Fraschini of Jean-Carl Vernet in 14th place. Behind him, the recovering Alpine and Peugeot. And Giuseppe Fraschini is a name that very few people will know. An Italian supercar manufacturer of the 1930s that actually gone out of business before Ferrari and Lamborghini were even thought of as brands. And the tiny team having a very encouraging start here. First round of pit stops for LMGT3. Both Corvettes, Aston Martin, McLaren are in. Drivers will stay in, fuel only, and maybe a fresh set of tyres. The pit stops are going to be very important here. It's such a hard track on which to overtake. You might do that with pit stop strategy. There goes the leader. And the Ferrari's looking strong here as ever. Here's the Lexus of Esteban Masson. Oh, what's happening here? Car's not firing up. Oh, this could be a disaster. You can certainly lose a lot in the pit lane. And you can see him there, the team hurriedly trying to work on the car. Door open at Cadillac as well. No driver change though. Alex Lynn stays in. And the Ferraris are in as well, in Hypercar as well as LMGT3. This is going to be crucial. Away goes the 83 car. It's moved up the order. A change in the pit lane by the Yellow AF Corsa team. They've leapfrogged one of the factory cars. Race leader in. This is Antonio Giovinazzi. They'll clean the screen, they'll check the tyres, they'll make sure there's no debris in those vital cooling ducts. Same with the number 5 Porsche. That's come in from 2nd place. But staying out longer than anybody and taking the lead hurts Team Jota's Porsche 963.
So we are fighting with the Porsche behind you. They put a bit less fuel trying to undercut. So we did a good job there. Keep focus on tyre.
Differing strategies then. The Porsche Penske team short fueling and Jota going longest of all. Change for 3rd place happened here down into Tamburello, and that is Francois Heriot in the 55. Vista AF Corsa Ferrari just sneaking by Darren Leung in the Team WRT BMW. The number 31 car started in 4th place. It's back down to 4th now. 777 Clément Mathieu in the D station Aston Martin under real pressure now with the McLaren coming alongside and the Corvette right behind. But look behind them, Will Stevens in the Team Jota number 12 Hypercar Porsche trying to find a way through. Oh no, that gap was going to close. There's the difficulty for the Hypercars. Right on board. Look where Will Stevens is trying to go. Sees the danger. Can't get through there. Have to be patient. 5th place battle in Hypercar. The white nose of the Porsche, that's Fred Makovici. Nick Nielsen, the man who started on pole position for Ferrari, in 6th position after the first round of pit stops. And he's got René Rast's BMW right behind him. Look with the kidney grills on that red, white and blue car. Heading down into Tamburello, Nicolas Nielsen perfectly poised now, dives to the inside of Makovici's Porsche, and the Ferrari moves back up to 5th. Classic overtaking opportunity here into the Tamburello chicane, well judged by Nick Nielsen. Nearly 100 minutes into the race, and in that black Toyota, Mike Conway has had the same view for almost all of those 100 minutes. The tail end of Porsche number 6, driven by Laurens Vanthoor. They're currently in the battle for second place. Don't forget that the Porsche short-fueled, so they will have to pit a little earlier, whereas the number 12 hypercar from Hertz Team Jota went longer than anybody else. Look at the top speeds. 323 kilometers an hour, 200 miles an hour plus the fastest speed. In traffic, oh, trouble for the Porsche. Laurens Vanthoor just squeezes by the Iron Lynx Lamborghini. Was there contact though down into Tamburello? Let's look from the Toyota's vantage point. No, just managed to squeeze through. Great driving by all three. Conway and Vanthoor fighting with everything they've got.
Mike, we tried to pass him in the pit. Hang on tight. 5 laps to go.
Yeah, perfect.
Jean-Carl Vernet starts at the tail of the hypercar field in the Isotta Fraschini, and he gives us a great view of the carnage at the first corner.
Try to warm up the tire as much as I was able to, and to go good start. Here it's impossible to overtake, so I just try to be really safe. Everybody brake early. It's not like I got surprised. I braked early also, but I locked up everything and had contact with the car in front. So I'm really sorry for what happened. I mean, it's not like I took a lot of risk. I just tried to be safe, and yeah. So it is what it is.
There's the Isotta in trouble though. A spin out of Acqua Minerale on cold tyres for its second driver, Cole Watanabe-Bennett. Well, this is the problem with the unheated tyres. The hypercars spin their wheels up very easily, and the Thai driver caught out. In the pits, the number 51 Ferrari from the race lead. Number 6 and number 5 Porsche, second and third. They're going to lose time here, repositioning the car to get it closer to the fuel rig. Driver change, Laurens Vanthoor handing over the number 6 Porsche from second place to Andre Lotterer. The number 5 car moves through into the lead. Porsche are looking very strong here. There is a problem for the 94 Peugeot though as they go into their driver change. Notice the car has not come up off the ground. That's because the onboard air jack system has failed. So they have got a jury rig system. They're blowing up an airbag underneath the front and the rear so they can change tyres. And this is going to cost them a lot of time in the pit stops. Lead change in LMGT3. Joel Sturm in the Manthey Pure Racing Porsche, snatching it away from the Ferrari of Francois Heriot. So Porsche leading both categories at the 2-hour mark in LMGT3. And overall in Hypercar, Will Stevens stays out longer again and leads for Hertz Team Jota in their Porsche. Hertz Team Jota 1-2 at the 2-hour mark. They're looking very strong here. The Ferrari of Francois Heriot under pressure for second place in LMGT3 from the number 46 BMW. Running a number that has been with him throughout his motorcycle racing career, Valentino Rossi. A multiple race winner here on 2 wheels at Imola. Can he do the same on 4? Antonio Giovinazzi and Niklas Nielsen 1-2 for Ferrari after 2.25 hours. The Scuderia back at the top of the pile. They need to keep up the pressure on their rivals if they want to claim their first win on Italian tarmac. Trouble for Jota. That's Callum Eilert, and that is at Tosa. A tight left-hander. He's just gone straight on there. What on earth happened? In the replay, just the tiniest of nudges into the barriers. He somehow got away with that.
I just got pressure engine oil pointing. Pressure engine oil pointing.
Oh dear, is that the first sign of weakness for Hertz Team Jota? Ferrari first and second, but the number 7 Toyota now up to third position after a tigering drive by Mike Conway. Nick de Vries at the wheel now, new to the team this season, but he's having a strong start to his stint as well.
I think at the beginning I was trying to just stay out of trouble in turn one. I knew it could probably get a bit crazy, and just tried to manage the pace and managed to sneak by, I think, McElwicky in the Porsche, and then was trying to hunt down the guys in front. I think the Ferraris were a little bit quicker than us, for sure. They were just pulling away. But then towards the end of the stints, we were catching back on the other Porsche.
And it looks like Ferrari are feeling that pressure.
Recovery 102 off, confirm 102 off, and we go full push, confirm full push. We keep car 7 behind, we keep the Toyota behind.
Manthey Pure Racing, the winners in Qatar, championship leaders, are out front after a great opening stint by Alex Malikin.
Cars behind me had pretty good pace, and for me it wasn't easy. I did a few track limits, and it stopped me push a little bit more because DT cost a lot in this track. But yeah, definitely I'm happy with this result. I think my team as well. And now we have good position, and I hope, cross fingers, everything will be fine in the next stints.
Okay, Robin, we see some rain on the radar. Could be in the next 30 minutes. Plan, if it stays dry, is to stay on these tyres.
It's been a mixture of sunshine and electric storms over the last few days here in Imola. There's no guarantee that it will stay dry. Battle for 11th place. Edoardo Mortara now aboard the Lamborghini, chasing Callum Ilott in the Hertz Team Jota Porsche. Edoardo Mortara relishing getting his teeth into this battle in Lambo's Hypercar. Radar showing storms boiling up over the Apennine Mountains to our west, but are they coming? Two battles on track in Hypercar. Callum Ilott, car number 12, going around the outside of Mikkel Jensen's Peugeot for 10th place, but in front is the second place Ferrari, and right behind Nick de Vries in that third place Toyota. He's been frustrated by this Hypercar battle for 10th position, losing ground to the Ferrari in second. Close to the halfway mark now in Imola, and Ferrari still looking very strong. Car number 50 in from second place, driver change and full service. Miguel Molina aboard now. Race leader in the pits. Antonio Giovinazzi will hand over to James Collado, and Ferrari still looking like they are driving this race from the front. Ferrari feeling the pressure from Toyota, but you can't ever count out Porsche. And as they cycle through the pit stops, both Porsche Penske Motorsport cars are looking strong. Ferrari close to each other, 51 just ahead of 50, but it doesn't look like that's the way it's going to stay. The battle for third place. James Collado on colder tyres. Miguel Molina stopped a lap earlier, trying to go through on the inside. He's got to take this advantage if he wants to beat the 51 car. 51 did not score in Qatar. They are desperate for a result here. Oh, and look at this on cold tyres. Collado at Tosa with the McLaren LMGT3 car going through on the inside. The hypercars on cold tyres fresh out of the pits are so vulnerable.
Yeah, it was a really intense free stint, good start, and then we start to manage a little bit the energy and the tires to do the triple stint. Yeah, car feels really good. Nice to see 1 and 2 in front of the Tifosi. So let's continue to see, think cross, and I think we have good pace. So yeah, we need to just be smart, good strategy, and let's finish like this.
Okay, Catenacci, you wait, you overtake Valentino.
Overtake Valentino in that BMW. Is that a suggestion or an order? Simon Mann needs to be careful though. He's on his final warning for track limits. If he goes by and exceeds track limits, he'll just earn himself a drive-through. There he is in the 55 Ferrari, the 54 car, trying to unlap itself at the same time. Halfway through the 6 Hours of Imola, Ferrari 1-2, but Toyota and Porsche are threatening. Mind you, the clouds are threatening as well. In LMGT3, it is Manthey Pure Racing's Porsche that leads the field. Team WRT, the number 46 car, under real pressure from the lead Ferrari, Vista AF Corsa. Heart of Racing's Aston just inside the top half dozen. Don't forget, only 10 cars in each category score points, and at the moment, only the Iron Dames Lamborghini has not continued in the race. Air and track temperatures are dropping as the day gets colder and cloudier, but the battle remains as hot as ever for second place in LMGT3. Simon Mann's got the perfect run around the BMW of Valentino Rossi to grab second place, and does it cleanly. Just keeping the car within track limits. Battle for second place now. Miguel Molina in the number 50 Ferrari, Nick de Vries in the number 7 Toyota. And the Toyota looking much more combative in race trim than it was in Hyperpole qualifying.
Okay, new target 27.8, 27.8. We do one lap less and push on the rear left tires. Push on the rear left tires. We do one lap less, 27.8.
Everybody working on the fuel and tyre strategies to try and eke out an advantage in the pit lane. BMWs are in the pits. Both of the LMGT3 cars are in. This is an anti-clockwise circuit, quite unusual in racing, and so a right side only tyre change works very well here.
Okay, Vale, so it's the two new tyres on the right, cold. On the left, c'est hot tires. Careful pit exit line, don't cross the white line after pit exit. Stay focused out lap.
Saving time in a pit stop, but giving the driver fresher tyres, always an advantage. Trouble for Isotta. Kawatana Bennett is in the barriers, and that's a Variante Alta on board. Oh, hits both curbs too hard, just carried in too much speed. He is absolutely furious with himself. There's the team boss, Gilles Duquesne.
Full course yellow removed.
With Nick de Vries, the battle for second place. Look at the way he's restarted to go around the outside of the Toyota. Great move by the Dutch ace. Formula One may not have valued him, but he is certainly being appreciated at Toyota. Fantastic restarting. Oh, Loic Duval, 16th place Peugeot across the gravel traps. Picks up a place, but has to give it back. Down the hill, Callum Eilert in trouble in the Hertz Team Jota car, off into the gravel at Rivazza, but did avoid everybody else. Came pretty close to the Iron Lynx Lamborghini and to second place Nick de Vries. Tyre delaminating for Loic Duval, left front. Well, that's not a heavily used tyre. Maybe that's a few too many flat spots.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are under virtual safety car. We are under virtual safety car.
Well, looks like Nick de Vries may have passed that McLaren right in the nick of time. James Collado was in the pit lane under green when this virtual safety car came out, so stopping a lap early may have been a disadvantage for Ferrari. All their rivals will stop under virtual safety car and gain time.
What's the tyre situation? Tell me what the tyre situation is.
So you have four new tyre. We didn't get the chance. We are forced to do that. So 4 new tyre, cold. So maximum warm up now. We are under virtual safety car.
Collado can't warm the tyres up at 80 kilometres an hour, and we will go behind the safety car. Everybody else in Hypercar will also be on cold tyres, so he'll be at less of a disadvantage because of that. But they did lose time in the pits. Nick de Vries being investigated for that pass as the virtual safety car came out, as everybody else fuels and takes on fresh tyres. There is de Vries. Comes in as the race leader, and a driver change now to Kamui Kobayashi to finish off the final 2 hours and 20 minutes of this race. And the rain is still threatening. What more have the weather gods got to offer us? Valentino Rossi out of the car. Marco Bezzecchi there, MotoGP rider for VR46.
It was not too bad, especially in the first part. In the first stint, I was good. Second stint was a bit more difficult because the condition of the track were a bit worse. You have some spots, and also with the used tire is more tricky. But anyway, we are there and we try to fight for the podium.
Congratulations. A little word, Marco, first time to come and see Vale. You're supporting him. Maybe one day you drive on 4 wheels as well.
Yeah, well, in Imola is the first time. It's very good to be here to support Vale and to see what he does on the car. So yeah, happy to be here. Hopefully soon I can try also the car.
Marshals are reporting raindrops at T1. The track is now declared wet.
Okay, Brendan, we see
safety car instructed to pick up the pace. Safety car instructed to pick up the pace.
track is starting to be wet in pit lane. Track is starting to be damp in pit lane. We would consider boxing as early as possible, so just be ready, everybody.
A few spots of rain in some places, but it is starting to rain more heavily now.
We think the rain won't last. We think the rain won't last. So we need to survive by staying out.
Back to green flag racing, number 7 Toyota leading the race. Everybody on slick tyres. When the virtual safety car came out, the track had not been declared wet. You're not allowed to use a wet weather tyre, so everybody on currently unsuitable tyres for the weather and trying to make the most of it. 51 Ferrari was the race leader but has dropped back down. This is Jean-Eric Vergne's Peugeot running out of grip. Change for the lead, Miguel Molina in the 50 Ferrari ahead of Kamui Kobayashi's Toyota as he comes up the hill out of Tosa. Take a look again. You can hear the crowd reaction as the Ferrari retakes the lead. It is now too wet in almost everybody's estimation for the slick tyres. Wet weather tyres are waiting both for the Hypercars and LMGT3s, and Toyota, as they said, going straight away for the wet weather tyres. But Ferrari, as they said, sticking it out on the slicks. Miguel Molina leads, and the 51 car is up to second place. It's getting wetter and everybody on slicks is struggling.
Okay, wheel box, James. Box.
Sure, are you sure?
Yes, sure, wheel box.
For me, no, but okay, for me, no.
Well, James Collado thinks they can stick it out there on slicks, and Team WRT do as well. They have not taken slicks for either of the BMWs. No further action for car number 7. He was clear, Nick de Vries, of that overtake. On board in traffic with Earl Bamber. Peugeot Isotta Fraschini right in front. Look at this traffic jam up into the Variante Alta. And the LMGT3 cars running rings around Hypercars who are still trying to warm their tyres in the slower corners. Down the hill they come. And down the inside, Earl Bamber makes a big lunge on Jean-Eric Vergne. Toyota number 7 moves into the lead as Ferrari head into the pit lane. Is this too little too late? The drivers wanted to stay out. The team have left it a little longer. Ferrari surrendering track position. Toyota and Porsche now the top 3 as the 2 red cars try and find grip on their wet weather tyres. They are down in 6th and 7th. This is not what the Tifosi would have hoped to see here. Number 8, Brendan Hartley, closing in on second place Kevin Estre. He's 18 seconds back, but the Toyotas both in the top 3. Not something they might have expected after qualifying. Race leader is Kamui Kobayashi, up at Variante Alta. And the Hypercars now on the right tyre for the conditions. Trouble for the number 15 BMW. That was the one that had the puncture after the first corner incident. Raffaele Marciello has exceeded the grip level of his tyres. One of the toughest braking points on the circuit into the two left-handers at Rivazza. It's also the wettest part of the track. Oh, and he spins up the rear, getting onto the paint. That's like ice.
Two, one. Full course yellow removed.
As they go green, Earl Bamber hits the gas and straight by Jenson Button in the 38 Hertz Team Jota car, or at least alongside. Keeps his nose inside at Rivazza too, but he was on the curbs, losing grip, and Button just clings on. Timo Boguslawski in the gravel, trapped in the Lexus. Early career in rallycross coming in handy. Jenson Button under pressure again from Earl Bamber, the Kiwi, down the inside. This time he's going to take 10th place. Cadillac in a points-paying position. Third place battle in Hypercar, number 8 Toyota, and the car that finished 10th on its debut in the World Endurance Championship, the number 20 BMW. So points in Qatar, now looking for a podium in Imola. South African Sheldon van der Linde all over the back of the Toyota. Julian Andlauer in the gravel, just outside the points anyway. That's not going to help. On board, riding down into Acqua Minerale and loops it around again. Rear tyres on the paint, I think. Return to terra firma, Julian Andlauer. Full course yellow, bringing everybody else down to a safe speed.
Full course yellow removed.
Jenson Button under pressure from Jean-Eric Verne, and Jev once more in the Peugeot, a little quicker to pick up the throttle than Button in the Hertz Team Jota car. This is for the final point, and he moves up into 10th place. This brand new revised Peugeot. It's not just that it's got a rear wing, almost everything on the car has changed. Battle for the lead in LMGT3, BMW on BMW action. Maxime Martin leads in 46. The white and black makes a mistake in Acqua Minerale, and with the red and white car, Augusto Farfus comes alongside. Should just have enough to squeeze into the lead before Variante Alta. And don't forget, both BMWs still on slicks as it continues to rain in Imola. Alpine's Paulo Chatin running out of grip at Acqua Minerale. Such a tricky corner sequence. And he's in the gravel. Klaus Bascher for Manthey Pure Racing, 23 seconds behind the second place BMW. They've done nothing wrong, but they didn't brave it out on slicks, and that's what's made the difference for the WRT team. In the dry early section of the race, Ferrari were 1, 2, 3. They're now in 6th, 7th and 8th. Did their gamble to stay out on slicks in the rain finally undo their chances of winning?
We'll have to box in the next 15 minutes. What do we think about the slick?
Still wet, still wet.
Copy that.
Collado was the one who wanted to stay out on slicks, and now he's saying it's still not slick weather. BMWs are proving otherwise. In LMGT3, now everybody making their pit stops, and it does look like brand new slick tyres are ready. Both Corvettes are in as well. Been a little under the radar and under the weather this weekend. Not the quickest of getaways from the stop there either. But BMW braving it out on slicks in the worst of the weather has really paid. It's really worn those slick tyres as well. Replay of Antonio Fuoco coming down into the Rivazza and getting off the drier line onto the wet. Not helping their position any. Brendan Hartley's black Toyota still under intense pressure for third place. Sheldon van der Linde in the BMW. Look at the way he's aggressively attacking the curbs. That's one of the advantages the BMW has here. Seems to be able to monster those curbs more than its rivals. Sheldon van der Linde needs to get on with this though, because the number 5 Porsche is closing on this battle from behind. There he is in the background. So Van der Linde soon may be between a rock and a hard place. Taking a look on the inside at Tosa. He can turn tighter inside Brendan Hartley's Toyota. Toyota getting ready for pit stops. BMW will be surely too. Race leader is in, the number 7 Toyota, Kamui Kobayashi, going on to brand new slicks, and this is going to be very high risk. They need to change, but he'll have stone cold slicks on a wet track. Brendan Hartley off in the gravel on his outlap. Look at the yellow sidewalls, that's the medium tyre. The wet weather tyres have blue sidewalls. Oh, Brendan showing just how tough it is in these conditions. Brand new slicks on the left. The car on the tyres that did qualifying on the right, so they're slightly scrubbed. Slightly scrubbed tyres there as well on the right-hand side at Porsche Penske Motorsport. This is Kevin Est, comes in from the race lead. A Porsche going to win here in Imola. And Porsche's first and third at the moment. In comes the second place BMW. Your race leader, Matt Campbell. Dark sidewalls, those are the wet weather tyres. He has yet to stop, so he's going longer than his rivals. And he will be looking for some slick tyres at the pit stop. The number 50 Ferrari, Antonio Fuoco, now cycling up to second.
Full course yellow, full course yellow.
Well, that's for the 99 Proton Porsche that has ground to a halt at Variante Alta. On board with Andlauer. Changing down the gears, hoping to get something that sounds like the engine is not very much in favour of progressing. Race leader into the pit lane, Matt Campbell, Porsche Penske Motorsport car number 5. And that means that the lead cycles back, or will do, to the number 50 Ferrari, but it's going to be a close call when the Porsche comes out. He'll have cold slicks. Look how warm those wets are. Antonio Fuoco is now the race leader, but Ferrari have yet to pit because he is still on wet weather tyres. BMW's Sheldon van der Linde is on slicks. They're the right tyre as long as you don't have to pass traffic on the damp part of the track. Finally into the pit lane for slick tyres comes the race leader, Antonio Fuoco. But that means that the number 7 Toyota goes by and back into the race lead. Have Ferrari got something in hand, maybe with fuel with which they can battle? Because right now, the race looks like it's heading the way of the number 7 Toyota. Matt Campbell in the Porsche and Ye Yifei in the Ferrari. Contact between the two of them. Porsche driver goes through. Ferrari struggling in Hypercar, but BMW looking very strong in LMGT3.
I mean, there's 40 minutes left, anything can happen. Just praying to stay as it is, you know, no more rain, no more casino, no more anything else. So, yeah, just we did all we can at this point, and I think we tried to keep it home like this.
Ferrari still battling the odds. 5th place car comes in, Alessandro Pierguidi. So he will lose ground, but if they are full of fuel now, do they somehow avoid a splash that their rivals might need to take? What's left of the wet weather tyres come off and slicks go on.
Kamui, we will be limited by fuel, so we need to save fuel. We have now large energy saving for that.
Not what Kamui Kobayashi wants to hear at all, so maybe fuel will decide the race. Well, that and penalties. The 46 BMW now picking up a drive-through for not respecting virtual safety cars. That's a real shame for them. That takes the sting out of the battle, but they will return to the track, still in 2nd place in LMGT3. Ye Yifei in the yellow Ferrari, easing his way past Alessandro Pierguidi. Pierguidi on colder tyres.
This is the way to go, I go as well. Because now is a bit too much.
Pierre Guidi not happy with that, but it was a pass for position for 7th place. Don't forget, neither of these Ferraris have scored a point so far this season. Final stop at BMW Team WRT. Check of tyre pressures for the 31 car. 46 comes by, will take the lead, but will also need to stop for fuel. Toyota number 7 being caught now rapidly. Kamui Kobayashi with Kevin Estre. Estre in 2nd place and reeling in the Toyota. We know that Kamui Kobayashi has to save fuel. We know too that this is a very hard track on which to overtake a car that is well driven. 46 BMW in, final stop for the 2nd place car in LMGT3. They'll rejoin in 2nd. It looks like, be a WRT 1-2. What a fine race they've driven. 31 and 46th finished 6th and 4th in the season opener in Qatar. So this gamble on slicks in the rain was a real roll of the dice, and they've executed it superbly. Into the final 20 minutes, Kamui Kobayashi being reeled in hand over fist now by Kevin Estre, gap down from 2.6 to 1.3 seconds in just 2 laps. Who's going to come out on top here? Oh, in the gravel, the heart of racing Aston and the 55 Ferrari. That's the battle for 4th place. Well, it looks like they both survived. A touch at Tamburello and a massive gravel trapping moment for the Aston.
We have room to stop energy management for 2-3 laps to overtake and then come back to energy management.
Well, we know Toyota are tight on fuel, so do Porsche, and they're giving Kevin Estre the hurry up to try and go and take the lead. Now, what Estre doesn't know, but the team does, is that he has a 5-second penalty to be added to his race time, so he's got to pass the Toyota and beat it by more than 5 seconds to win this race. Oh, and that's not going to help. Trouble for the 38 Team Jota car. Jota leading at the 2-hour mark with a 1-2 are really struggling in the later stages. Last lap, battle for 4th, Ferrari versus Toyota.
We have no buffer on energy. We have no buffer, so you got to battle like this.
Brendan Hartley being told he cannot afford to go any faster. Antonio Fuoco can. He's going to try and make the pass. The leaders are on the last lap, and the battle for 4th gets down to Tamburello, and Hartley outbrakes himself. Fuoco moves up to 4th, but there will not be a podium here for Ferrari. And Toyota's number 7 car is racing away at the front of the field. The number 6 Porsche, the number 5 Porsche, both scored strongly. The championship leaders will finish in 2nd place, but it's a first win of the season for Toyota and car number 7.
Yeah, Kamui, you did it,
Congratulations, Kamui. Well done, good job.
Thank you, guys.
Great result for the number 7 crew, and for Nick de Vries, his first ever World Championship race win. That is a big moment for any driver. They were superb, all 3 of them, and the strategy worked. And somehow Kobayashi made it to the checker in front.
Team made a great decision. I tried to not mess up. I mean, track was very challenging, and to be on the track, of course, is challenging. And I know I had a lot of pressure from car 6. They did an amazing job, but we see I had no mistake. Managed to be in the front. Thanks for the team, and big support in Italy. I was appreciate, and of course these 2 guys made a solid job here. Fantastic, thank you.
Fortune favoured the brave in LMGT3. Not just victory, but a resounding 1-2 for BMW Team WRT. They stuck it out on slicks and were well rewarded. The drivers performed superbly, and it's a first four-wheel World Championship podium for Valentino Rossi.
Not too bad, very good.
A remarkably well-driven and well-judged victory for the number 7 Toyota crew. But again, Porsche Penske Motorsport scores strongly, 2 cars on the overall podium. Again, Toyota with both cars firmly in the points, and the number 7 crew, could they be title contenders? Ferrari will be disappointed, now third in the standings behind Porsche and Toyota. But this was a race that they could and maybe should have won. They misjudged the weather conditions. They will learn and come back stronger next time out. Toyota Gazoo Racing claimed victory from the 2 Porsches, the best of the Ferraris in 4th place, and that was grabbed on the last lap. BMW Team WRT judged it perfectly in tricky conditions to go 1-2 in LMGT3. And that judgment might have to come next time out as well, because round 3 will be at the awesome Spa-Francorchamps, and there the weather is often a feature.